Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the podcast, Three Losses Global Podcast, episode 59. I'm your host, CJ, alongside with Liam. And guys, we're absolutely. Sorry, Liam, how are you?
No, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Go to the special guest
Yeah, very excited
announcement.
for today's episode, guys, because we have the founder of Gate 7 Melbourne with us, Panos. Bano, introduce yourself. Welcome and thank you for coming on to the show.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, no, thanks for having me on the show. It's an actual pleasure to have, to be able to, speak to you guys because I've been actually following you for a while now. So, yeah, no, thanks, man. It's pretty good. But yeah, basically, I feel very, privileged that you've brought that up and that I'm the founder. But it's been a long time. But essentially, I started the club back in 2009, roughly 2008, 2009, around there on Facebook. I just had the vision of basically wanting to bring all the Olympiakos fans in Australia together. So I started a Facebook page called Olympiakos Fan Club of Melbourne. And it just started from there. It just started escalating. I started connecting with all the Greek Olympiakos fans here in Melbourne. Well, I'm in Adelaide now, by the way, but I'm in when I was back in Melbourne. Yeah, and it escalated. We started catching up. Going in the middle of the morning to Richmond at a souvlaki shop, which I can't remember the name, but it was an idea, and he didn't really like us going there. It was, and, but I mean, he liked it because we brought him, we bought food from there and all this. But yeah, you know, yeah,
I just read
but
that.
huh?
I just read that at the end before. Sorry,
What was that?
I'm a man, mate. Hey, boys. Hope you're well, good with. Thank you, George, for joining once again. Go ahead, Bundle. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, you're right. But yeah, basically, we just started from that like small group, and then we started going on the we started doing like festivals like the Adipolis festival, which we
Bro,
drew
like,
like crowds.
pardon, sorry to cut you off. I was at the Antipodes this year. Now that you said
Yeah,
that, and I was talking to the Pug Z, the Gate 4 Melbourne, whatever they are, whatever they're called. And we're talking about. I was telling him a big Olympiakos. He was giving me shoes. Like, where's your club store, man? We haven't had one for so many years at Antipodes. Next year. We got to try and make that happen, lads.
we do, man. It requires a lot of
Yeah,
organisation, but yeah,
yeah,
it can be done. It's just we've got to connect together, like as a collective. Like it's a lot of work that needs to be done because we don't want those guys look pretty organised, so we need to
yeah. They do
really top
exactly
it
right.
up. But I can definitely help out there, and I've got
Yep.
it. We did it twice in 2 years. Um, but yeah, we had like memberships, and we were selling merchandise like shirts, jumpers, cascol, like that one there
Yeah.
actually. See in the background there. Um, yeah. So yeah, it was a good era. I loved it. But now we need to find a way to like get back on track. We've got to find, and bravo to you boys who are doing this show because it's actually connecting Gavri from Australia together, and it's like that's what we need. We need to improve that. There's crazy Olympiakos fans. I live in Adelaide now. I know there's heaps here. There's heaps in Melbourne. There's heaps in Sydney. There's Brisbane, Perth. They're everywhere. We're everywhere, man. We're bloody all over the planet. So we got to make it happen.
Well, that's
That's it, bro. That's exactly right.
definitely the goal. And Bano, it's a privilege to to have a fan on the show, but more so it's a privilege to have someone like you that's created such an amazing um, establishment for the fans in Melbourne and throughout Australia to be on the show as well. And now that you're in Adelaide, and obviously with your connections, we can spread the word of what Thrillos Global was when it started and what it's trying to become, a platform for Olympiakos fans around Australia to
That's
come
it.
on, join the conversation, comment below, interact with us, and we've in the past had fans come on onto the stream with us to just have a chat. And speaking of one of those massive fans, joining us right now
Yeah,
is Yanni. Here we go,
nice.
Yanni. Welcome.
Thanks for
To,
having me back here again.
one
Nice,
of the
nice to have you,
co-founders of
Pano, as well.
Thrillos Global.
Yeah,
He
it's been a good weekend, hasn't it?
definitely has,
Also,
definitely
Jan
has.
Kennedy.
Hit it, yeah.
So I think with all the introductions through, and before we get into it, everyone please like, subscribe, Thrillos Global, also Gate 7 Melbourne. You'll be able to interact with everyone on there, and they have like a good young following coming up as well, obviously through Pano. But enough of the shout outs. We'll get into more of them later on. We're here to talk about Olympiakos is making a habit of smacking our rivals this season. But Olympiakos 4, Panathinaikos 2. Boys, 4-2, mate. What are our thoughts? What are our thoughts? Pano, since it's your first show, we'll let you go ahead.
What's it like on the VCS on here?
Yeah, you can say what you want, but just.
I feel
Oh,
like
man.
it was
The
a
one
good,
we
it
have
was
to worry
great.
about's not here.
Nah, man, it was awesome. Like we smashed them. I think the first what was it? The first 10 minutes where we when did we score the second goal? It was which
Oh,
It was like
16.
what was it?
16, 17, yeah.
16th minute, somewhere there. Yeah, I pulled it up.
Yeah.
16.
yeah. So then we that for those first two goals, like just partisame, like we smashed them, and then okay, they scored that goal, but that was, to be fair, that was a good goal. And then we came forward and we scored again. When was it? What was the third goal?
51. Yaremchuk.
50
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
with a header,
Yeah.
and the Vasily were thinking it was a handball, but absolutely not, absolutely not. A lot of things happened in that match, but um, the like one of my favorite parts was Mendilibar's reaction um,
Yeah.
when when what's his name missed in front of like
Martins.
Martins.
Martins. Yeah,
But
that was hilarious. I was like replaying that over and over. Um, but he's got potential, Martins. But I think he struggles in front of goal. But anyway, it's as a team, we've been playing really well. It's actually really enjoyable to watch Olympiakos in our hundredth year. Uh, you know, this is the sort of Olympiakos that we dream of. Puleme to Safrania, that we always want to see the Olympiakos that we dream of, and uh, to see Olympiakos smash Panathinaikos 4-2. This is a dream, it's an
Yeah,
absolute. So, μπράβο μας και ελπίζω να συνεχίζουμε έτσι. Και, ναι, και το άλλο είναι φοβερό γκολ από τον Κοστούλα. Κοστούλας, Muzakidis, these young boys are unreal. Like I don't know, I can't believe what I'm seeing. I mean, even the national team, but to see them at Olympiakos, Muzakidis and Kostulas, Kostulas like showing what he can do, especially against the big guns like Panathinaikos and Balk and all this. Like it's amazing, you know. How many goals has Kostulas scored now against Panathinaikos? I think it's
Yeah. He scored a lot of goals against Bulk as well, and the big sides.
Yeah.
It's a good point. He's showing up in those big games.
He's a big game player, that bloke.
this is the ultimate dream of Olympiakos, to see these young Greek boys, you know, come from our academy, παθιασμένοι με τον Ολυμπιακό και να το χώνουν έτσι, να το χώνουν στο βάζο
Pano,
τους.
Pano, I don't know about you, but we said on a few episodes ago where we had Pedro Martins as our coach and the levels he took us to and the unity we felt as fans amongst the club and the team. Like we thought it could never get better than what he did, but Mediliba's taken it to a whole new level. Just
Next.
the you tell me one time where Olympiakos got smashed in the first leg, played good in the second, but it wasn't enough where the team didn't. The fans didn't turn on the team. Like you tell me another time where that didn't happen because, sorry, it did happen. Didn't happen because it didn't. Because Olympiakos, the fans were really. I wigged myself out, but the fans were really on Olympiakos' side, and it really didn't affect anything. And the unity right now between his team, and it's just
Unity.
unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. But yeah, especially with the youth. This is something we thought probably never happened, but Mediliba and Marinakis are doing God's work right now, and we just hope this continues. We just really hope this continues.
I think it can only get better from here, boys. Like this is only, I think, the start of what we're seeing. I mean, next year, don't forget, like, and by the way, we are 10 points ahead, so bravo στο θρύλο μας που το έχουμε καταφέρει like that well, you know, we're at 10 points ahead in the league, and I'm sure we're going to win it. I'm very positive that we're going to win it. So Champions League next year, and that means more investment. You'll see more investment. You'll see Mendilibar will need, we've already got a great side, and he just needs to strengthen maybe some sides on the pitch, and maybe strengthen the entire squad, not just the first 11. You know, there's
I think
need more
I think the issue is going to be though holding on to some of the players like Zolakis. It's going to be hard to hold on to a player like him. He's obviously been at the club for a few years. Yeah, I think we'll be all right with Musakiti and Kostula, but
you think?
yeah, I think we'll be able to hold them for another year because I think Olympiakos will be thinking they're young. If we have another year out of them, we can get maybe double or however much more we can if we hold them for another year and they play well for another year. So I think they'll definitely be looking to keep those two. Unless a massive offer comes in that's just hard to turn down. I think we'll be keeping both of them for at least another year. And I think they'd want to stay as well. I think a lot of youngsters at this sort of age sometimes tend to make that move a little bit too early, and it can hurt them to those big leagues. You've seen it with so many players before. You've even seen it maybe not on such a larger scale, but with Jolis when he went to Norwich, he made that move to the Premier League. He wasn't playing as much, and his career sort of went in a decline, and he found himself again. FD course, he found himself again, but it can happen where they go to this big club, they lack minutes, and then all of a sudden they lose their confidence. They need to be playing at this young age. They need to be playing, and they need to be building themselves. And no better place than do it at your club that you've been through the academy and your home country. So I think we'll be keeping those two. But in terms of players like Zolakis and Heze, and there's probably a few others now that even Costinha, I think there's going to be a lot of offers for him, which I want to talk about him in a sec because he's been really good this year. There's players like that are going to be hard to hold on to, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and also Liam, like if Panathinaikos can keep Ioannidis for away, keep them in the team despite a 20 million offer, and Kostadelias can stay at PAOK, there's no reason why Musakidis and Kostoulas can't stay at Olympiakos, especially since this is their debut season as part of the first team. So it should be easy for
Exactly
another year.
right.
Jolakis
Hopefully,
would be my main concern.
Hopefully, the unity amongst the club would want to keep, like, they would want to stay as well. Like, maybe they're like, no, we want to stay at Olympiakos for what they are. And, like, we got to look at players like Rodinei as well, who's so
Yeah.
obviously vocal with that as well. Yeah, I love the bloke. He's such a fan favorite right now, Rodinei. And
Yeah.
if we could keep players that want to bleed and play for that low for that crest, and
exactly.
because we can easily next season make the big money moves, not big money, but get players that have a bit of a name.
Cadasses.
They won't care about the club, like, which we'll talk about some rumor, because I think someone's brother is rumored to join us in the summer, but we'll get into that a bit later on. And with what you said, Pano, with Martins, I think we got to keep in mind this is his first full season.
True.
So, like, knock on wood, ευτυχώς, he hasn't copped anything massive this season, and hopefully he can see it out. So it's his first full season, but yeah, look, against Panathinaikos, this guy, I got to say, he wasn't sharp. He wasn't that great, but
It's interesting how Mendilibar reacted like that, though. I think there's not just about that match. I think it's a build-up,
Yep.
yeah.
But he's not. He's obviously not. Trying to put him down or anything. He's just trying to say, "What are you doing? Come on!" Like, you're lifting your body. This is just standard technique in football. Like, lifting your body. Of course, the ball's going to fly up.
Yeah, I think these players are tough cookies. I mean, I think it's funny for us because we saw it on camera. Who knows? Like, in those locker rooms, they probably cop it.
Oh yeah,
And, like, every team cops it for sure. So I think seeing it's just a bit of like a shock. There's a bit of shock value to it.
That's actually a good point. What do you think Mendilibar is like because each manager is different in the change room. What do you think Mendilibar is like in the change room? Have you seen any videos or anything like that?
I haven't seen any videos. Maybe Yanni would know a bit.
I have no idea. I don't think there's any videos circulating, but I mean, he has shown like a emotional side, especially when he won the Europa League with Sevilla, when he was flipping the other fans off. So I reckon he does get a bit emotional. I reckon he does rage a bit, but especially after Bodo Glid, for God's sakes, like, he didn't rage there, but I don't know. I think he manages the players well, though. I think minutes-wise, and like, no player has anything bad to say about him. No falling out, no nothing. So even with Podence, he left, but he still was chatting with him. So
I could name one.
There's one.
Who?
Which one?
Probably.
I know.
Did I miss something?
Who?
Velde.
No, I don't think he's had a falling out, mate. He's just been
I
so
don't think he has
shit
a
that he
falling out.
doesn't get a
He
game.
had, bro. I'm sorry if you're putting Biancone as a striker.
Oh yeah, I mean
overall,
that is
there's something going on.
But
Yanni,
Califia in the cup, he's scoring a brace. Yeah, sorry.
what are your thoughts on the match? Wait, who scored a brace? Califia.
Did he score like he has like the only 2 goals of the season?
Yeah, he scored the brace against
Califia
Califia
in
that
the
game.
cup, so
Yeah, 2 left feet.
clearly,
Your thoughts on the Panathinaikos match?
I mean, it was a very dominant display. What?
Sorry? I was just saying, who else hasn't played? It's a delay. Ella.
Pano's got the Adelaide internet, mate.
Man, I got some third world country internet as well. So delayed. I think I missed like 2 goals of the game as well. I missed the Ioannidis penalty, and I missed Kostoulas' goal as well, completely. Nah, anyways, from what I saw though, very dominant performance. I think from Olympiakos. I like when CJ you put in the group chat. They're just running up and down, but that made it like an exciting game, made it intense. And at the end of the day, it's just what you want, right? Like dominant
Yeah.
performance against your biggest rival, and it's a team that you should be beating. If you look at it points wise, it's a team that you're above them like 13 points, I think, or 12 at the time, somewhere there. So crazy game, and I want to give Yaremchuk his flowers. Honestly, I've been so impressed with him lately. Um, Super clutch player. Didn't play for a lot of the season, or at least didn't start. Played like some dead minutes, but he still had patience, had faith in his ability, and you can just see it. Like it's a amazing backup to have behind El Kabi. And honestly, like obviously I'd rather have El Kabi, but I wouldn't mind Yaremchuk like leading the line ever. So yeah, that's my third. I think the penalty also. I think the penalty with Ioannidis. I feel like that shouldn't really have been a penalty. I feel like that was
Bit
a
harsh.
defensive breakdown a bit. Yeah, but also like I don't think it was needed like tackle him from that side. I don't know. But then again, I didn't see it very well. So from the highlight, I guess. But yeah, that's my opinion. Good win after all.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a question mark next season with Yardenchuk with his future, but
Mm,
if we could definitely keep him because yeah, the last this game and Bodo Glimt he didn't start Bodo Glimt, sorry, but
that
you
he
know
didn't start
You
here.
should.
he's been
Scored
Oh, you
goals,
should.
yeah.
he's been looking like a monster, and yeah, I agree, Bundle. He definitely should have started that one, but it,
Yeah.
it's in the past now. We won't get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that needs
Yeah.
45 minutes on that one.
Yeah.
Chiquinho as well. I tell you what I really enjoyed.
Oh,
Olympiakos, at least in the first half, they were not crossing a lot. They were just like it was like very old school Olympiakos, just trying to play
Yeah.
on the play on the ground, try find a gap, which Chiquinho did. Sent Aura to sleep. No Aura, whatever the fuck his name is.
yeah.
Aura sent him to sleep. But yeah, it was a really good game. And on Ioannidis, very interesting with that fucking egg. Um, mate, I'm not sounding arrogant here or cocky, but Olympiacos are winning the league, and it's not only just because of how dominant they've played, but it's also how much Ajax and Panathinaikos, specifically Ajax, have regressed. Like they're shocking, they're absolutely shocking,
Yeah.
and for Ioannidis, all right, captain of the team, to get chopped by an 18-year-old, then chop him, and then he knew he was getting red, but he just dumps the captain armband on the ground and walks off. Like I think that's pretty foul.
Yeah.
I'd be pretty pissed with our
Did,
captain.
did he actually dump it? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just
Yeah, he did.
dropped it on the floor and walked off. Said, shook hands with.
Αυτό είναι ο Βάζελος. Αυτός είναι ο Βάζελος. Γι'
And,
αυτό.
it's very surprising if he stays next season there
That's.
because they're a shit team.
I mean,
But
they should have made
it's-
him captain though in the first place.
But
Like,
how
He's too young.
mature?
This was- Yeah. No, sorry, go. My bad.
Sorry,
Yeah.
it's the delay again.
It's huge. Yeah.
How mature is Kostulas for shaking his hand though? After
Yeah.
after everything that he did in that match, Kostulas shook his hand at the end.
He's a classy boy.
Yeah.
You can
That's
you
pure
can tell he's so mature off the pitch and on the pitch as well. The way he plays as well, he's so mature.
Correct.
And if you've seen some of his interviews, I don't know if you've seen him. He's a pretty serious guy. He's
Mhm.
well spoken. He seems like a classy guy. And I think that's why a lot of top clubs are also after him.
Yeah.
It'd be very sad to see him go. We hope he doesn't. But I think AC Milan are knocking on the door
Rodri-
for him and Muzakidis.
Yeah. Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
yeah.
Was-
yeah.
I was gonna say Rodney was more exciting though. However, like more
Yeah.
what he did.
The celebration.
Him and Biancone, I feel like that was more memorable. Hats off to Kostulas for shaking his hand, but yeah, I don't know why he came back on as well. Like,
No, I think
he left.
we were all Rodden in that moment.
Did you
All Rodden in that moment.
did you guys see when Ioannidis had to the way he had to walk off and he went
Yeah, they were throwing all the bottles at him.
He just lost his cool, man. It was embarrassing.
I think, yeah, he got absolutely done. Was there a nutmeg in that one as well?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Ioannidis has had a bad season, and I think a bit of the frustration came out. They've had a bit of a bad season, Panathinaikos. Not a bit of, they have had a bad season. He's had a bad season from what he's been going off. He had that massive drought to the start of the season. He scored a few goals, and he's been struggling again recently. He's had a bad year, and I think all their frustration sort of just, especially he's just came out in this game.
Well, imagine your best wingers, whatever his
Mladenovic.
Yeah.
He's a fucking... I can't stand that bloke either.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd proper 2-foot him. Like Roy King 2-foot. But Birola as well, my God. Our defense just doesn't need to be touched next year. Except maybe Ortega. I don't know. Guy's a bit of a...
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know why Onya Menchie's not starting. I actually really like the look of him.
Yeah. Or
Another
yeah. Oh, sorry, Panel, go ahead.
Sorry, another topic. Have you guys bought the
No.
the
I want to buy it so badly though. I don't think we can yet. I don't think it's been released yet. Like they've had like multiple batches of it. The first one got sold out like instantly. The second one was, and I think it's not. Can you get it or not?
No, I was very close.
Yeah.
I was on the page and it kept timing out because it was just smashed.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna get, once it becomes like properly available, I'll definitely get one.
Yeah.
Liam, since everyone's gone around, quickly share us your thoughts on the match.
Yeah. Well, the boys summed it up pretty well. Dominant performance. We created a lot of good chances. I just want to say, we touched on it a little bit before, but it's really good to see, like, just the way we're playing, like, just such attacking football. Like, it's something that Olympiakos, I think Greece has lacked for a long, long time. It's been more defensive sort of base league where you're more focused on defending.
100%.
What's it called? The Mithen more than going out there and trying to beat your opponents and score. And it's been a league focused on that for a long, long time. And I think this year and like this game's a perfect example. We mentioned it was end-to-end football. It just shows sort of the change in philosophy that Menley Bar's brought in. We're just always looking to score goals. Like every time we go forward, we're looking dangerous. And I think it's something really good to see, something really positive, something that we haven't had for a long time. It's very refreshing. Another thing that I want to say, just touch on a few players. Costinha is an absolute gun. He is a gun, and we have a bit of a problem there at right back because obviously Costinha's so good, and I think he's got potential to be better than Rodinei. I think he needs to improve his crossing just a little bit, but I think he's a gun. And then you've got Rodinei who can play there, but he has been fantastic. Like Menley Bar's found a way to have both in the team with pushing Rodinei up to the wing. He's our best winger this season. Like every time he plays wing there, he's looking dangerous. His cross, his delivery, it's unbelievable. And I think you saw already he had some really nice build-up plays in the game. I think he got a couple assists as well, if I'm not wrong. But just the way he's just able to just go up the wing and look pretty much our most threatening winger has been really, really good to see. And he gives a way to play Costinha, obviously, who's really good. And it's hard to keep a player like that on the bench because he's obviously too good to be on the bench. So yeah, it's been really good. And Yanni said it as well with Yadamchuk. I think everyone was a bit too early to jump the gun on him. I think we spoke about it previously in a few other podcasts that people were just you got to give the bloke some time. Like people were just expecting him. Oh, you get a chance one game, he's going to be firing. You need to get a bit of game time, get used to the system, all that sort of stuff in real game scenarios. And everyone was so quick and so eager to jump on his back and say he's not good enough, he shouldn't be playing. And he's just shown that when he's finally given like a decent run at a few games and given consistent game time, what he can produce, and he's had some unbelievable finishes. As we said, it was a mistake he didn't start in the Bordeaux second leg, but he's been unbelievable. And I'm not sure what his contract situation is. I think it might be running out this year. I think there's an option to extend, but I'd be definitely looking to keep him next year, even though we've got that. Now we have that problem. We've got that Bentancur guy from Cetus as well for next season, but he's a gun. He's a gun, and he is more than capable to whenever El Cubby's out to hold the line, as Yanni said, because he's got a great finish on him. He's an experienced player. It's exactly what you want in a second sort of option striker. And that's pretty much my thoughts.
Yeah, definitely right, man. And that winning mentality that you mentioned, and Olympiakos just wanting to attack, that's definitely compliments to Medilibar. Just a team with no fear, and especially in Europe, there was no fear. It was just really good to see. Breath of fresh air, definitely. Well, that's what won us the Conference League. And
sorry, go.
No, go, Yanni.
No, I was going to say, just to answer Liam's question, Yaremchuk's contract expires 2028, according to.
Oh, really? I didn't.
I didn't expect. I didn't think it was that long as well, because he's like 28, 29. So
yeah.
Crazy that you would.
Oh, that's good. Then we're keeping him because I think he's good. I think what's it called, and I think he should be playing in more games. I think Medilibar was a bit too scared to swap him out with El Kabi because of how good El Kabi is and how reliant we've been on him. And I think maybe that could have contributed to maybe a bit of his injuries and all that. He wasn't given enough rest playing every single game, because every game in the middle of the season was important, even in the league and when we're behind on points and all that sort of stuff. But I think you definitely keep him because he's more than capable to hold it, as I said.
100%, yeah.
We need to try to keep as much quality as we can as well, because we're going to need the depth for next year. We got
correct
bigger hills to climb. As things are looking, we're back in the Champions League for the first time in 6 years. 5 years? 5 years. The 19.
Long, right?
But like, if you think of the seasons in between, we've had some of the worst seasons were in between. That 1 year we got 1 point or 2 in Europa League.
Yeah,
we haven't had the best 5. Yeah, the last few years haven't been that good, but it's looking good now. It's looking very positive.
The question is, though, how competitive do you think we can be in the Champions League next year? That's going to be very interesting to see how we've progressed, because under Martins, to be fair, we were competing somewhat in the group stages. Like, we're doing all right, but how good of a side are we really against the best clubs in the world? It'll be very interesting to see, because we have improved a lot over the last few years, especially with Medilibar now. But how good actually are we? It'll be interesting to see that against because we'll obviously play some big games. Like, maybe, like, imagine we could have a little run through the knockouts or something like that. It'd be incredible. But I don't know. It'll be interesting.
It's a very good question, and it depends on who comes in. Sorry, Yanni, I just want to say one thing. If we had kept like Fortunis and Pedence, for example, we'd still be in Europa League as we speak.
Pedence is a big one. Yeah,
that was a big one. I think in Champions League, it just depends who we bring in. What's rumored is Ricardo Horta is coming in. Obviously, we're going to have the what's his name, Bentancur from Panathinaikos.
Oh, that was the one.
Well, I might have the name wrong. I don't know. That's actually a good question, Liam. That's a very good question.
I think we need the Bentancur one from Tottenham, though.
Yeah, probably.
He's a gun.
We just need players that have played at that level and that can compete. Yeah.
I don't think Ange will give us him. I don't think Ange is that friendly. Especially, I think he's Panathinaikos actually.
He's Ike.
Ike. Yeah, I was going to say Ike.
He's like, he's done interviews. He's done interviews where he's like, they're asking him like, what? Have you seen his Greek interview?
Yeah, I have.
He does a full-on Greek interview. And they ask him what team he supports in Greece and stuff. He's a massive Ike supporter.
Καλά να πάθει. Τι να το κάνουμε.
He's a good coach.
Nah, he's good.
He's quality.
The Tottenham fans need to just relax, trust the process.
That's it.
Hey, Liam.
It is Tottenham,
That's
to
it.
be fair.
I'm Olympiakos, mate, not Tottenham.
It's the history of the Tottenham.
Yeah.
Yanni and Banor, to Liam's question about how would we go in Champions League.
Well, Yanni, you can start.
I can. Okay, I was gonna let you start. To be fair, but that would be. Look, we always say like be competitive in Europe, and I don't know exactly what that means for the Champions League. Does that mean we qualify to the round of 16, which is still quite a decent accomplishment that we haven't done in a while? Do we try to go on a like deeper run? I don't know. The thing is, like, you really need players that not only have played at that competition, but have played for big teams, I think, especially if it's going to be like, if you're actually going to compete to actually win it. Because we see what Marinakis has done with Nottingham Forest. We know the money, he has the money. We also know that Olympiakos does not generate as much income as Nottingham Forest. So it's going to be tough for him to invest there as much as he does in Forest. But I think the Champions League is going to be like a crucial point if we're going to keep young talent or not. Because you said would Kostoulas and Mouzakidis want to stay. Well, if you're playing Conference League, because they're Greek, they understand what the Conference League, a European trophy, means for Greece. They would stay to try and win it, even the Europa League. But the Champions League, it's so much harder to win.
Yeah.
So Champions League, that's where you have more motivation as a player. Like, it's going to benefit Olympiakos playing in the Champions League, obviously, but you can't do that much in Europe. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be good to be back, but it's all going to depend on the results we get as well. Because if Olympiakos goes there, beats some small clubs and doesn't beat any big ones, brand-wise, achievement-wise, it's okay. It would be the same as playing in the Europa League. Obviously, I'd rather have them in the Champions League, but it really depends on like how Olympiakos is going to move ahead and what the players have in mind as a goal. Because it's going to be tough.
That's just before Lionel goes. That's a great point, Yanni. That's going to be a key factor in keeping some of these players. And I mentioned Jorlaki. It's going to be hard to keep him because he's kind of established himself now, and he's been here for 2 years or a year and a half, being a regular starter, and clubs are going to definitely be knocking on our door with good money. But Champions League would be a key, a key aspect. If a club is a mid-table club or not doing too well in like one of the top 5 leagues, I'm sure Jorlaki would rather stay at Olympiakos and be playing in the Champions League. So, it's a great point. That's going to be crucial in who we bring in and who we keep.
But also really quickly, just before Pano goes, it'll be good if we entice players to come because we play Champions League. But it shouldn't be a stepping stone if the goal is to actually compete in that league, which is going to be super hard. Like, it's not. I understand, like, the Conference League was once in a lifetime, so, and there's levels from Conference League to Champions League, but it's really gonna depend on the investment and what happens in the years after. But we'll see what happens this season as well. But no, I'm sorry I took up so much time. I just off at the end.
Have you seen his famous video on TikTok this week? It went viral, mate. It's got like so many views.
Who's?
Wenzaldinho, the guy just comment.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Wenzaldinho.
Yeah, Pano will go to you.
Great.
Sorry, what was that?
We'll go to you. What do you think about Olympiakos competing? Do you reckon we can compete?
Yeah. Look, I think the it's definitely a very like we're talking about the elite of Europe. We're talking about clubs that have got budgets that are double, triple, quadruple of Olympiakos. Uh, and I mean, there are clubs in there like that are of similar level to us. I think like Zagreb. I think they were of similar level, and I mean, I think they finished 25th in the league, which they just were out of the top 24, so they can make it into the playoffs. Um, and there's like Celtic. I mean, I think we're, I think we're. I don't think the Scottish league is that much better than the Greek league. So I think we would be able to compete if we're going to compare to what's happened this year. And of course, I want to say that the format of this year has made has allowed for the smaller clubs to be able to compete, and we've seen that as examples in the round of 16 and the playoffs. So it's the you can see that some of the big clubs that actually were struggling. Manchester City was 22nd, finished 22nd. Juventus 20th. So you can see that there is an opportunity. It just depends, like Yanni said, are we going to be able to hold on to those valuable players, those youngsters that they can make a difference, but they don't have the expectations of the big players that are playing in Europe in the big clubs yet, because they're still young. So if we watch the Greek national team and you saw this explosiveness, this is the beauty of watching football. You watch these youngsters like with explosiveness, and you've got a few of those players in Olympiakos, and it's amazing to watch. Not just Greek, but you've got a few other. You've got a mixture of players at Olympiakos that have got that explosiveness, and I think we can compete. There's 8 games as well, so I think there's a mixture of games throughout the league stage, and there's definitely opportunity there. I always believe. I'm also a little bit biased, of course, as well, and I always believe. I've always got this belief in me that Olympiakos can do well, even against the big clubs. I mean, we've seen in the past with teams that are not so good on paper, and we've been competitive, and we've either drawn or even won. We've come back from losing games and things like that. So it's there is definitely potential, and of course we can't play it down that it is the Champions League, and it's super exciting to be there and back there, to see my beloved club in the elite of Europe. This is it makes me emotional. Like I get up at 4:30 in the morning, whatever time here in Australia, because usually that's the time we have to wake up, and I wake up and I can't even wake up for work at 7:30, 7:30, but I can wake up for Olympiakos at 4:30 to watch Champions League.
With excitement, mate. You're buzzing out of bed when you wake up as well.
I put on one of my shirts, straight down to the TV, and I'm if it's in Karaiskaki, I was always wishing that I'm there, but it's to see the Poseidoni na Kunyete mesto Karaiskaki, that's unreal. That for me, that's and I think the players that we have, we've got players that like this Rodinei and that how they say the matonen για τη φανέλα. They bleed for the shirt, and this will show in the Champions League. They'll show in Epathiasmeni, like they love the club, you know. So I think they're going to show even more in the Champions League, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And what's anyone heard any news about what's going to happen as if Forest and Olympiakos are both going to be in? Is that okay or?
I think that's fine. I think that's
Great
fine.
question. Yeah.
I don't think there's because Girona was in the Champions League, weren't they, this year?
Yeah, they were.
And they're owned by
Yeah.
the same owners as Man City, and they're both in the Champions
Oh,
League.
yeah, true.
So I think it's fine. I think the rule is obviously you can't have two clubs in the same country.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of that, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Just with what you were saying, Pano. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with everything. You obviously want to see your team, especially Olympiakos, go well, no matter who they're against, especially the elites in Europe. But you gotta think as well. Like if there was ever a time where Olympiakos could take them on, and cause upsets, and for them to go on a good run, it'd be now with with this coach, with the unity within the team, and
Football's crazy.
yeah, football is crazy,
Football's
and
crazy.
it's this era of Olympiakos you'd want to see that happen. So,
Yeah.
what's meant to be is meant to be. That's what I think.
We like Marinaki says, we dream big, you know.
That's it. We keep
That's
dreaming.
it.
Now we're coming up to an hour of the show, so I just want to go through everyone's man of the match real quick, and we'll go through the squad list against Ike that's just come out, and we'll go through that. Some interesting players on there. So Yanni, we'll start with you. Man of the match for the one against Panathinaikos.
I mean, it has to be Yaremchuk. Like, I don't see how I can vote anyone else, to be honest. So yeah, Yaremchuk.
Pano,
Yaremchuk, yeah, absolutely.
Liam.
What a goal! That first goal, like.
Oh yeah.
Oof.
Couldn't ask for
What a
better.
relief.
Yeah, I got Yaremchuk
Okay,
as
yeah.
well. Special shout out to Chiquinho. I thought he played really well. I thought Rodinei played really well as well. And even Costinho right back, I thought a good game. But yeah, Yaremchuk for me as well.
Got to go with Rodinei.
Someone had to say
Two amazing assists and just the shithousery. You just gotta love
Yeah.
it. And, yeah, you know what? If Rodinei and Yaremchuk are both the same for me.
Yeah.
All right. We got Kipelo second leg semi-final on Thursday. I think it is against Ike, and I think it's safe to say we're not losing 7-0. Football is crazy, panel, but geez, if that happens, fucking hell. A few. So like I said, the squad list has come out. Our goalkeepers Paskalakis, Botis, and Anagnosopoulos. Our defenders Biancon, Pirola, Carmo, Costinha, Rodinei, Alafakis, and Bruno. Midfielders Stamenic, Velde, Garcia, Horta, Chiquinho, Esse, Palma, Lolis, and Mozakidis. And our forwards are El Kabi and Kostulas. So we're seeing Lolis again for the second time.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed something in there, CJ. I think I know why. Papa Cornelo's not on the squad list even after just announcing his contract renewal.
Mm.
But I think that's because he will be
We have
playing
the
in the under-19s game. And
which is,
as
one
we
of
know, and we spoke about in the last podcast, Lolis isn't in the starting lineup for the under-19s, but he gets a game for the seniors.
Mandela is basically taking the shit out. Like, he's taking the
Yeah. Oh man.
piss.
you never know, mate. You never know. Quick predictions for that game.
it's a hard one to predict. You don't really know like what on earth he's thinking because of the gap. It's all over and dusted. There's no.
Do you think he'll play the youngsters, like a lot of youngsters, or?
I think. Look, I think he's going to play people that like are in the main squad but don't play as much football. For example, Stamanic, Velde, Pascalakis will play. I think he'll prioritise those players, and then I think we might see maybe one or two of the younger kids in the side. I'm not sure though what he's going to do, but I think he's definitely going rotation. And yeah, it's actually hard to predict. Like, what do you do in this situation?
Yeah, go Pano. And then Yanni.
Well, I think it could either be either. I don't think their fans are going to even. I think they're going to have a pretty
So
spread out stadium. Doch mekani chorafi better after like
That's our second stadium. That's our training.
we might as well. We might as well just turn it red and white. But yeah, we could possibly win like 1 or 2-0 with a weakened squad. But yeah, I'm not sure actually. I'm just gonna say like I'll say 2-0. 0-2 is actually 0-2 on our win.
Giannakis.
yes, Christopher. Nah. I know it's not. Nah. Obviously, this is a very tough game. It's going to be tough to qualify. Only have a 6-0 advantage. Should have been 7.
It's going to be hard, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. The question is, what does Ike do? Do they actually play first team players, or do they just give up? Do they just go from, I don't know, the youngsters? Like, in front of their fans, they at least have to try to like salvage something.
Yeah.
So they have to play like some good players, some people from the starting 11.
Like Mantalos.
So yeah. So
Bro, CJ, my Bapu has the funniest agenda against Mantalo. Like every time he comes on, he cracks it. He goes, "How does this guy get it?" He's losing it, mate. Every time.
He's not fucking wrong.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, seeing the squad we have, like obviously the starters are not gonna be playing that much. It's a tough game to predict, like Liam said, like because what do you actually do, like, and because it's a big team for Greece, do you play the players that are within the starting 11 but don't play as much, or do you just play so they feel good, or do you just play the young kids so they get experience? So it's tough. I think this is gonna be a tough game to win, honestly. I'm gonna say like it's either gonna be really good, entertaining, or really boring. I'll just say 2-2. Be optimistic that it's gonna be entertaining, but I just it's if Olympiakos B team wins again at Hagia Sophia, like it's I don't know, it's give up with the team, like just relocate, move to a different league. I don't know, change badge, change everything. But yeah, that's what I think at least.
Yeah. There's a part of me that says that Ajax will go out with like, and I'm actually going to search if they've released their squad. There's a part of me that says, yeah, they might send their youngsters out, but I also feel like that would really piss off their fans.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna get their guns out. They're gonna get their Mantalos out there. They're gonna get fucking Szymanski out there. They're gonna get
Lamella's pretty good now.
that 50-year-old in the centre back out there. I don't know. I would honestly love if it still ends like 3-4-0 our way.
Oh, yeah.
That would just destroy their whatever aura they have left. I think it's gonna be for optimistic sake, we might lose 2-1. I really,
Optimistic sake.
Really optimistic.
Surely they
might
keep
lose.
Almeida, man. Keep Almeida.
you know
man.
what? I'm saying 4-0 win Olympiakos. Fuck it.
That's it. Eh?
Yeah.
I reckon they're still just gonna smack them for the sake of it.
They'll say.
Any point.
Sure, we just put our strongest side out and just embarrass them again. That'd be funny.
Well, I think they're gonna do because looking at our defense will be pretty solid. I think our mids will be like Stamanic, Orta. My prediction though, Valde still won't play this game. I think that guy is like so far out of the squad right now. It's not funny. The closest he's getting is his name on the sheet. You're gonna put him over like SA and Palmer, please.
I actually would like to see Stamanic. This guy, he's got potential. He's got potential. This player.
He does.
I
Yeah.
think he's just got to get out of New Zealand mode and get in Europe mode.
He
Like-
struggled,
like
he
just-
struggled a little bit this season.
Yeah. Just like you know he plays along with Chris Wood.
Yeah.
In the-
Oh, shoot, yeah.
They might make the World Cup, so he'd want the game time.
Probably will, yeah.
Yeah, I mean they have Tonga and but then they have to play playoff or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so pretty much hit an hour. I think that about wraps it up for this episode. Again, Bano, I want to thank you so very much.
Well, I'm on, mate.
It's a pleasure.
Great review.
And hopefully you're a regular on our shows whenever you're free. And hopefully we can get some more guys behind the Gate 7 Melbourne onto the show and have a chat with us and try get the Olympiakos community within Australia to become stronger so the next generation can be strong because the Greek league as well, the last 2-3 years, it's up and coming.
And
The
the
best
great
league in
team
the
as well.
world.
Gotten its shit
Great.
together a bit better, so
Yeah. No, there's it's Greek football's looking exciting, boys. So
Yep.
this is a good show to like show Australia and the world that Greek football is actually it's got a place in the world, right? So like it's not just a crappy league. It's actually pretty solid.
that's right.
And yeah, but thank you for inviting me on your show. We'll definitely come on again. It was good fun.
Thank you, Bano Harika,
Thank you.
as well. Boys,
Okay.
thank you very much, everyone, for joining.
Thank you. Well done, boys.
Thank you
Thank
very
you, well
much.
done, yeah.
Have a good night and take care.
Anita,
Καλή νύχτα σε όλους.
γεια σας.